Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. It is still dark and stormy as our players traverse the Alardian crest and into the Fraunhall Plains. Oh, you were going to search the tents, weren't you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're going to be very determined. We're going to be undeterrable. We look intense.
Oh, my God.
Good work.
God. All right.
Good work.
It doesn't take you too long to find the tents that nobody owns because everybody else is in their tent because it's dark and stormy out. And no one's hanging outside. The juice bar has a closed sign hanging over it, and that's that. So you find the two unoccupied tents. They're both quite small. One of them has 2 bedrolls in it and nothing else. The other one has 1 bedroll and some cooking supplies and like a little fire pit.
While they search the tents, can I hide the bodies?
Yeah, where are you gonna hide the bodies?
I'm just gonna try to find a bush or something.
Yeah, you can just drag him into the woods and stow him behind a bush. No problem. Well done.
Right, cool.
Who needs heals?
Anything hidden under the
I'm at 8 of 14.
Okay, just take 3 more. Sorry to interrupt the search.
So Neal, I'll look under the bedrolls. I'll check to see if there's any secret orders sewn into any linings or
No.
the bedroll transforms into a
Mystery
or
inside.
something.
No, you have already found the secret information. It appears that their orders must have been told to them verbally, for there are no written ones down. Unfortunately, you've already killed all the people who could have answered your questions. And there is no backup information.
Back in Berkshire.
All right. Well, I guess we camp out here for the night.
Can I talk to one of the other people that are inside their tents? I want to know when those guards showed up and if anyone else was with them. If there's any other guards with them.
Yeah. Who would you like to ask? Just randoms at the campsite?
Yeah, we're searching tents. Like when I open one of these tents and see a couple people, I'm like, hey, yeah.
Yeah, you can ask about. Most people have only been here for a couple days, and they say the guards have been there the whole time. The juice bar owner will tell you that they showed up about a week ago and have been camped out here. Just checking people's belongings, not asking for tolls or anything like that. They seem to have some supplies with them that you can find in their tents. And they've been, peaceful chaps. Didn't really say much. She only ever talked to the officer.
Okay.
All right. I'll. Do we have a party tent or anything, or do we sort of?
I've just got a bedroll.
Oh, we do now. we got.
How big's the tent that we're acquiring, Neal?
There are 2 small tents. You could call them pup tents, even.
I guess I'll sit inside a pup tent and take out the orb. So what are you hiding? What are your and my fingers will just sort of accidentally touch whatever little bumps make the hologram come out.
There are lots of bumps all over it. It's just bump after bump after bump after bump after bump all over the thing. But no seams. It's all brass. Yeah, there's no buttons anywhere on it. Not even your lucky feature, ability, perk. Not even your lucky perk will help you.
And I felt sure there was going to be a hologram.
What's a hologram?
Come on, man.
It's like a regular gram, except it's empty inside.
I know what's inside of it.
It's a gram of hallucinogenics.
It's brass. It's made of brass. That's what's inside of it.
When you shake it, can you feel something moving inside?
Don't break what's inside. It could be something important.
No, you shake it, and it doesn't sound like anything's moving inside of it. And it does weigh about a pound and a half or so, but it's a little. It can't be solid brass because then it would weigh like 4 pounds or something, right? Brass is pretty heavy, and it's about yay big, so it can't be solid. There's got to be something, a different material within it, or maybe it's hollow on the inside, or.
I'll give it a little nod to see if it sounds hollow.
No, you tap it with your finger, the back of a dagger, a hammer.
My knuckles.
Yeah, you tap it with your knuckles. It sounds solid. You don't hear any echoing, or there's no P waves that develop within it. It's a geology joke for those of you who are geologists. Anyone? No? No? Okay.
Yes, I know the P waves and S waves.
I don't do
They
that in my field.
refract back. They would refract back if there's a core at different layers. They keep reversing.
Mm-hmm.
I listened carefully. Does it sound like
It's
they
interdimensional space.
they refracted at, say, the white part, and then at the yolk, and then out the other side?
You cannot discern the diffraction or refraction of any waves within it without like a stethoscope and a laboratory and non-stormy conditions. You need to find the right place to do your investigations.
Obviously, that's Outlast.
I feel like whoever opens this is gonna open it, and then those springy snakes are gonna just poof.
I'm wondering if it's a brass dragon. I mean, a brass dragon egg.
I'm
Now
thinking
that's an
maybe
interesting
extra
question.
dimensional space.
It could
Like-
be that once this hatches, it'll only be a matter of decades before it's old enough to fight. Within 100 years.
Can we just? What if
could have an aged dragon spell.
a dragon is born and then they just continually cast haste on it?
Well, they've also got.
You want to haste the baby? Is that what you're telling me? Huh?
No, the obvious thing, if you want to get an instant ancient dragon, is you have it fight a ghost.
Oh.
Or wait a second, is that why we found this in Berkshire, because of the Berkshire banshees?
That's...
It all comes full circle.
It's too much to be a coincidence, guys.
You have all the answers you need. They're right in front of you. Can you figure it out?
If only we had the questions.
Ah! It's a game of Jeopardy. Have the answers,
look-
you must find the
I
questions.
pat down the around in the tent to see if the spies had any questions.
No, there are no questions lying around in the tent.
Damn.
Curses.
We need to get to Outlast.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay.
I look down at the brass egg. Don't worry, little yo, bruh. We'll get you there.
I have recently read that Yoda's name might have been
go.
Buffy once upon a time, but it got changed to Yoda before final production.
Yeah, I remember. I read that. Yeah.
Buffy the Scoria Slayer?
Could have been. Could have been early production names. Glad they didn't do that.
Yoda's
Would have
better.
been. Yeah, Yoda's much better than Buffy.
Meanwhile, he named a character in the prequels El Slevo.
Well, I
The,
think we all
the
know
drug
that
dealer in episode 2.
the one who's asking about death
The
sticks.
Death
Yeah,
Sticks.
yeah, he's called Slevo.
That's also the actor that plays Rat in the Matrix movies.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And then, yeah.
let's just
Well,
say
anyways.
the prequels were more of a cash grab than a good series. Anyways, We are on our way to Outlast. I have strong opinions about
it's
the
a new
prequels.
day.
Well, before we get to a new day, we're going to find that this storm does not abate. And with the winds and the lightning and the cold and the rain, you might have a hard time resting. I'm going to need a con check if anyone wants to regain HP or spells as they travel, because the outside conditions are terrible.
I need 3 more HP, so I'll roll that con check.
You'll also need a tent, by the way, and like a bedroll, and you'll need to be dry. But even with the tent and a bedroll and dryness, then you'll have to make a con check. So
we have tents and bedrolls now.
Yes.
No, I already had a bedroll, but yeah.
Oh!
I'm assuming Reggie has 10 constitution, I guess.
28. Oh, 19. I got. Rob got 28.
So those of you that get, so Rob, you can gain an HP. Everyone else,
Oh, that's for Reggie. I'm fine.
oh, sorry. Reggie can gain an HP. Everyone else is going to be no HP, no spell gain as you travel across the plains.
All right, let me undo that.
Yes, it is.
So you can't
wait.
cure light wounds on Reggie.
Already I used up my 2 light wounds, but wait, wouldn't clerics get their spells back anyway if they're not resting? There's only wizards who have issues doing that.
No. I think the section on magic says priests function identically to wizards, unless noted otherwise.
Let me fix up the spells before I fix them
Yes.
up.
Okay, so let's roll
I've
some
got-
encounter checks as you travel the plains.
Alright, I'm just down to 2 spells then, because I didn't get any spells back apparently. Wait, can I just spend an hour and then I get my spells? That's how clerics work.
You are not rested well enough to gain spells back. You cannot find your path to your god. The storms are too chaotic, and the power of the chaos of the storms overpowers the chaos of your connection to your deity.
Alright.
So we need to pick up the pace. We're not even all the way through Act 2 yet. There's only an hour and a half left.
Right, the first day of travel, you come across nothing. How are you going to make your way across the land here? It's sort of open terrain. There are no roads, and with the dark and stormy nature of things, you can't really see the landmarks of the Great Horn. How
You can't see
will
the
you
giant
travel?
mountain.
Yeah, it's dark and stormy. Your vision's going to be reduced to, to maybe about a mile or so, and the
Anyone
Great
got
Horn
direction
is
sense?
easily 20 miles from you.
Anyone got direction sense? No?
Anyone? No?
I don't-
Sorry.
Bueller?
Nope.
Bueller? Nope. Well, time to wander the plains aimlessly, hoping you're heading in the right direction.
Alright.
All right.
Well, we've got someone who's lucky, so we might get on the right path.
Oh, yes. Mr. Lucky Person, give me a wisdom willpower check. As you might just luckily walk across the plains in the right direction and not get turned
Or
around or follow
Maybe
a creek.
luckily run into a trader who knows the way.
Maybe. You too, Ricky? At 2, Brute?
I'm sorry. I like those movies.
21.
Oh, my God. What happens to you people
Wait,
born in the
did you guys hear
90s?
that
I
music?
can't help when I was born, man.
I know.
I love them.
It just wounds me so much.
If it wasn't for those movies, I wouldn't like any of the movies. So
Oh.
thank God for them, right? Like,
Let's just, have Jar Jar do flips and let's just, travel through the middle of water world
okay,
somehow
when Jar
faster.
Jar, when Jar Jar got that numb tongue, I laughed. Milk came out of my nose. All right, it was hilarious. It's great.
Making me feel so old. So at the 21, you do sure enough come across a traveler out in the cold, out in the rain. It is a Gnomish caravan that has broken down. Their wheel has fallen off their axle, and the 2 gnomes are badgering back and forth in Gnomish at one another as their ox stands in the rain, cold and wet and damp.
I guess I'll call
Oh
out to
my
them.
gosh,
Hey,
you
you
lost
guys
the
okay?
wheel. I can't imagine how you feel.
Look at you! You're going to make me... with joy I will squeal, for you are here to replace my wheel. Gnomes are notable for their desire to
We'll get
rhyme?
you going without a care, if only you can supply a spare.
Ours?
To where are you going, new friend? I've found. Because we are headed all around.
We are going to Outlast. We hope that we can get there fast.
Outlast, you say?
Bound by
We're
time.
headed that way.
Neal.
And why?
What luck?
Wait, so your wheel's broken? Aren't you? I heard that gnomes are good at fixing things. Why is it that you aren't able to fix it?
That's a stereotype.
You can see one of them gets sort of like big eyes and rolls them, and the other says, "Fix the wheel I can." If only it wasn't for my good man. He thinks we should use a 3-kit patch, while I think the 2-kit is more than enough to match. We've stood here for hours numbering 5, trying to figure out the best way to fix this live.
Why don't we settle it with the coin flip, and then we can set out on this trip?
God, you're so good at this, Rob.
You think of the second word first, Neal, then you do the first sentence.
Well, I'm just not that fast, James.
I'm not.
One called
sorry.
heads, one called tails. We'll see who wins and who fails.
Have you a coin upon your person? You have to rhyme if you only say one sentence.
Oh,
Cheater.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I guess we would, because we sold off the armor.
Definitely have coin, yes.
Yeah, we got plenty of coin.
All right, you toss it in the air, and they both call heads.
No, you call it, you don't call it.
Flip it
All right,
again.
how does it land?
Lands heads. One of them, who has called it, rubs their hands greedily together and goes and grabs a kit from the cart. The other one mutters and says, "Luck is for fools. True craftsmen should never rely upon it."
They should rely upon their tools?
Tools, but not luck. That's for fools. You should know the right thing to do and not guess at it. The gnome is slipping out of his rhyming scheme, which is showing you that he's frustrated, borderline angry, because his attempts at being respectful are declining.
Ah, so that's why the reason is Neal. Okay.
Yeah, because when
That's
the
the
rhyming is
reason.
a show of respect or intelligence or honoring people, and it's very common when gnomes get frustrated or angry or pissed that they stop their rhyming scheme in an attempt to show their
Yeah.
displeasure at the situation.
Yeah. That's the reason. Yes. Okay.
That's the reason, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. I believe you, Neal. We're going to do a roll perception.
To do what?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything now.
Okay, good. They eventually will fix their wagon, although the one who lost the coin flip paces around angrily the whole time, muttering to themselves. And
So-
lots of heavy sighs as someone applies the 3-patch fix. Lots and
But
lots
what are
of
your
sighs.
names? Good
My
names?
name? Our names? Well, I'm James, and over here, this is Lames. The other gnome just shakes their head and says, "My name is Mary. It's a good day to meet you, good sir. May your days be merry."
Very clever, Mary. How hot is Mary?
Oh my goodness.
She's actually quite cold right now because she's in the middle of a rainstorm. But for a gnome, she's very average.
How big are these gnomes? Are these like the 7-inch tall gnomes, or is it,
They are, one of them is about 2'8", 29 pounds, and the other is 2'9", 28 pounds.
Okay. Is their cart tiny too?
No, the cart is it's like a human-sized cart that they have. So they're very small creatures sitting in front of the cart being pulled by the ox, and the back of it has a little gnomish bed over here, but then all these workshops and benches and tool supplies and everything.
That's so cool.
Is there a gunnery position on there?
There is no gunnery position. There's no
is it two,
automatic
like one at the
crossbow on
bottom
the
and the
top.
bottom?
No.
Yeah, one on the bottom.
I
and
thought
one
there
at
might
the
be
top.
one on the top and one on the bottom.
Exactly.
There are no gunnery positions upon this
Come
cart
on,
at all.
Neal.
Are there shields that can be moved like front or back?
It's a regular covered wagon. You might be on the Oregon Trail with this wagon. Okay.
Keep watch for cholera.
All right. Well, we're not going to ford a dirge river. That sounds a little,
That's a little funereal.
Yeah, well, last time I visited it, there were dead bodies in it, so...
Wow, look at this lack of encounters along the way. All
So,
right, with the gnomes in tow, they will lead you over the hills and past Crest Lake, past the Dirge River, on towards Outlast. However, you must spend many, many days in the company of rhyming gnomes. I need everyone to make me a wisdom willpower check in order to, just deal with the stress of being near gnomes for this long.
I had a 15 on that, too.
Yeah.
28.
So it looks like Wyatt and Admiral Jai. I feel like we're missing one more. Oh, there we go. Oh, my God. Wyatt, Admiral Jai, and Raj. These gnomes are driving you crazy. What sort of impact does this have on you? And we'll just go in the order that they were rolled. So starting with Admiral Jai. What happens when Admiral Jai is around gnomes for 5 days?
I think at that point, I'm just gonna start letting information slip in response to the rhymes, but doing it in a rhyming way.
Give me an example.
So I'll say you might think that there is a river that we must ford, but I don't think that is going to help us carry this orb.
Orb, you say? What have you? See it? Can I, may?
Yes, it's right. The orb is next to the Lord.
The gnome comes on over and takes a look at the Lord. Your friend with many arms says there's an orb you have. May I see it?
I don't have an orb. Young gnome friend. I think he's pulling your leg. These guys look visibly frustrated.
Well, of course he's frustrated. We use a 2-point tourniquet instead of a 3-point tourniquet for the wheels. I'm frustrated too, but god damn it, do you have an interesting orb or not?
Yes, we do. It would be tragic if we didn't find out it's magic.
A magic orb, you say? Oh, dearie, dearie, I feel so gay.
I'll look over to them very, we need to keep this down, I say. Now, clearly, you both are an expert in wagons, but does either of you know much of dragons?
Wagons and dragons are two different things. We're experts in one and not in the other. There's no reason that would be taught to me by my mother. Who cares about a dragon, yet the green one's on the island? That's why we've left and come to... Island. That's why we've left and come to the place we call Thailand.
Ew.
Are either of you... Are either of you clever gnomes able to call Outlast your homes?
Our home is on the road, my good friend. And because of that, our boundaries never end.
So I made a mistake before. This is the person who has the orb stowed. And also you should know that on the orb is a secret code.
Oh, secret code! And with the shout of secret code, the other gnome driving the wagon pulls it to a stop and hops in the back and goes, secret code?
Secret code. I'm gonna go grab his pack unless you're gonna stop me.
I'll pull it out. I say, it seems like Braille, but it might be spam. Can you activate the hologram? And I'll show them the orb.
They greedily pick up the orb, fight over it for a moment, put it underneath a desk, light a candle with some frustration in the cold, damp weather, and use a magnifying glass to turn it over and look at it and point at it and lick it and smell it and try and scrape off some of the brass with a little bit of a knife, and then get like a little chisel and try and chisel off some of the brass.
No. I say whatever it is, I cannot quite peg, but I suspect it may be an egg.
Oh, an egg, you say? Is that why you were asking about dragons away?
Maybe.
What is in it?
I say, I wonder if it might be an egg of bronze, as sure as Henley Winkler was the Fonz.
Wyatt, you also failed your put up with gnomes check. As we can clearly see, you failing to put up with the gnomes. Well done with your role playing. How does this frustrate Wyatt, and how does that come out?
He's just thinking, how can I murder these people but still get to Outlast? I mean, the thing is, getting to Outlast, they know the way and I don't. So I need them. But the Scorpion would sting them on the river anyway. But I'm holding it in check, but I'm just not interacting with them at all. I'm just paranoid that get rid of them.
I asked the gnomes about if they can interpret the code, or if they have any thoughts on that, on the pattern, or if they think...
So many thoughts. I've got lots and lots and lots. Give me a month, and I'll give you some details. And if you need to go, then I'll just send you some emails.
What?
That's mail sent by Emu, my friend. You might not have them over where you live on that end.
Unfortunately, we do not have so long. If we were to wait, something may go wrong.
Good things come to those who wait.
That is not always the path of fate.
They say the early bird catches the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. So, patience, my good friend, please.
Do we have the name of the person we're looking for in Outlast?
Oh, I do.
I think this is a good... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, don't worry about it. He's on it. He's got it. Bring it to.
Lucky, Raj brutally failed his put up with gnomes check. Brutally failed. How does this come out?
I just start twitching and I say, and I keep repeating, "Hey there, Mary, things are getting a little hairy. I'm going crazy. My mind's hazy. If I hear you one more time, you'll never again rhyme."
The gnomes will take very good caution to stay away from you. They've had many a death threat leveled at them in the past, and they know it's best to just accept them and just stay quiet. So they scoot closer to the rest of the party and rhyme in low whispers back and forth to each other, making sure not to irritate the man with the murderous dog, who's like, weighs as much as 4 gnomes. Yeah. So the gnomes will look at this orb, and the oxen will not drive forward. And how long would you like to stay here investigating the orb with the gnomes?
Guys.
Let's see, we need to get to Outlast fast.
Is that okay? I don't care. I'm just sitting. I'm looking at the orb. I'm rhyming back to them about the orb.
What other details do you let slip?
We don't have much time for rumination. Our actions could perhaps save a nation.
Queen, you need to stop fucking rhyming when you're talking to us.
I also say
we're not gnomes.
At one point, this monkey got knocked on its tush when we got ambushed.
So it doesn't sound like anyone is trying to get the gnomes to move forward, so they ignore all of your pratter.
That's why I said we need to get to Outlast fast.
Yeah. Gnomes live like 200 years. They'll get there fast, you know.
And that's why I said we have to save a nation.
Mary,
These were all very definitive statements.
Mary, James, I know that you guys are enthralled by this orb. Maybe if you guys want to stay back here and keep inspecting it, I can drive the cart.
Go for it. But do you know where you're going?
Well,
There's no
we've been headed
way the path
we've been
I
headed
could.
this direction all day, so.
Sure, yeah, go ahead, hop in the cart. Make me a wisdom check.
Oh boy. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah, you take the cart, you find a path, you go. 3
Perhaps you
days
could-
later, the storm breaks, and you see a great forest before you.
Is that the glade wood? Please, it's at least not the silk wood.
The storm has broken, but it is still overcast. Skies are dark, but, you know, there's some
Can I see
trees.
the great horn? Can I see the great horn in one direction?
The great horn is on the opposite side from the trees, yes.
Is this the okay? Which way is the sunrise? Is it to the east or
It's
west?
overcast. You cannot see the sun.
Well, I didn't see dawn. Which way the light was? Was the dawn left or dawn right?
I mean,
Are
when
we
it's
going in the
overcast
right-
enough and you don't know where you are, dawn is like a whole horizon. It can be very hard to pinpoint left or right or exactly where, but it's generally in the direction of the woods.
Are we going the right direction now, friend Mary? To waste a lot of time. Now that'd be scary.
All of you guys are so good at this shit.
I'm making a gnome character next week.
Oh, please don't. So the gnomes will have decided that this is indeed brass on the outside of the orb after 4 days of discussion. That's what they
it's not
figured out.
brass. It's brass. Okay, that's good.
It's brass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are we heading in the right direction?
Of course, we've figured out the outside of the orb. Now it's time to figure out the inside. Don't you know? It could be a smorgasbord.
Can we?
We're not going to
I
damn
was
it.
arguing about this with somebody
This
before. I
leg,
thought it was
this
brass,
egg.
too.
There could be a dragon in there with little legs.
No. It's metal in nature, which is not like an egg, which is calcium in nature. It's very different.
I might be talking out of my ass, but wouldn't a brass dragon's egg be brass?
Probably not. That doesn't make much sense. Then again, that does make sense.
I pick up James and say, "Which way to Outlast now?"
Wyatt, put the gnome down.
Once he points out which way Outlast is, and I'm going to start walking there on foot.
I'm gonna hand Wyatt a part of ration and say, "You need to eat this."
Once he
Cranky.
points out where Outlast is,
You are crazy.
I have had enough of troubling with
ask
these
him.
gnomes.
I'll ask him where we're going.
Fine.
This
But
could
just
decide the fate of
waffling.
nations. We need to get to Outlast without any imperial complications.
I'm gonna say, do not dismay. It must be one of this ways, and I use my forearms to point in all 4 directions.
Not enough. Come on, which way is it? It's the storm's gone. Which way is Outlast?
James, Mary, Wyatt's a little stir crazy. We're right in front of the forest. Do you know where we're at?
Sure. Outlast over there. They point to the right of the woods.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, I'm going in that direction. I'm just walking away from the cart.
You just hop out of the cart. The gnomes still have the orb, and you're just
Let's
going.
just deal with it. Yeah,
All
I've
right.
just had enough of the gnomes.
Yeah, so have I. I understand. Yeah.
I'll say there's someone in Outlast who may know the secret. If we have to go on without you, I imagine you'll have regrets.
Reach.
Well, then just leave the orb with me, and I'll bring it to you once the inside I can see.
That is something we
leave it with
cannot
me.
Do you have a lab somewhere?
Well,
Maybe we
we'll
can take
head
it
to
there.
Outlast on foot and shoe.
All right. The gnomes know this is your property. They're not going to steal it. So they regretfully hand it back to you, with one of the gnomes, Mary, giving the last warning that the brass is only a shell and these bumps on it are solid. So there's like a thin layer of brass with bumps on the outside and something deeper within. What is within is probably the key thing, and this is just armor to hold it on the outside.
Why is it made out of brass? Why not just metal?
Brass isn't a very good armor.
Is it easy to shape? Maybe brass is easy.
It is softer, yeah.
It doesn't corrode very
If
easily.
I could just ask you a little bit, Moria, do you think this could contain the blueprints of Scoria?
No.
It's possible, though.
Wouldn't that just be like an anatomy
Anyway,
picture of a
we're
dragon?
all trying to get to Outlast. Why don't we just keep going and we'll get there fast?
They will hop on the cart and drive towards Outlast, taking turns to examine the orb. You can pick up Wyatt along the way. And
Wait, the cart's faster than me?
an ox pulling a cart? You were probably faster on foot, but you will probably...
Energy, yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably like want to stop and rest, and you can see the cart coming behind you. I guess you could just lead the cart by, hundreds or thousands of feet if you want.
Yeah, I don't not want to be near the gnomes.
Yeah, I get that. I really get that. I understand 100%. Okay.
I'll go up to Quinn and I'm gonna say, these gnomes now know too much, and I think as such we should kill them.
Kill their enthusiasm, of course.
Okay.
Right.
We could give them another thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could
But
show off
they know
the
too
mechanical
much.
stuff.
Don't mean any harm. I've never met an evil gnome since I left the farm.
Yeah, gnome seems fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We could just tell them not to say anything.
Yeah, tell a gnome not to talk. Right, okay.
Do you think
I don't
that'll
know.
work?
I liked their disposition. We should just tell them this so that they don't have any suspicion.
Let's be honest.
Can you guys stop rhyming around Wyatt? It's really triggering him.
I walk further away from the car.
All right, we just go. We just walk away.
Do you think anyone will pay attention?
You guys eventually arrive in Outlast. Much frustration later. You arrive here, and where would you like to go when you arrive at the city gates of Outlast? It's a large town built on a hill that sort of slopes down towards the ocean, so you're arriving at like the top backside of it. Walled, there's a big gate.
Okay, during our whole journey, I do want to find out what they're shipping, because
The gnomes?
What?
The gnomes? What they're shipping?
Yeah, what do they have in the wagon? Because there might be something that happens, then we have to make a plan, and a big wagon load of whatever they have might become key to the plan.
They have a bunch of tools.
Fireworks?
It looks like they are traveling mechanics and repairmen. So they've got like smithing tools, they've got woodworking tools, they've got leatherworking tools, all sorts of like things that you might need to fix other broken things of all shapes and kinds. They've got a MacGyver toolkit. It's just paper clips, WD-40, and duct tape, really.
So if we're like in a really bad situation, we could get them to turn their wagon into a fighting mech or something.
Probably not. No, not quite that extensive, but they might be able to, I don't know.
They're repairmen, not artificers.
Thank you.
All right. Well, anyway, how many temples are in town? Like the
Well,
letter
you're at
doesn't
the
specify.
gates. You have yet to enter. Because it's a walled town in times of war, they're gonna search all of your possessions and ask you questions.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a problem for you. If you're cool turning over the orb to the guards at Outlast, they're definitely like town guards this time. No way they could be spies.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
Just show them the bag. Don't let them take it.
You're gonna want to look inside.
Why don't we put it in the Lord's bag?
Go search my bag.
I mean, this is just an orb, right? This is
You're a lord.
it's
They
an
don't
art
search you
sculpture.
here, going into a town, but they'll search us. But yeah, you can say it's just an art thing if they ask.
Unfortunately, I took compulsive honesty, or I would.
All right.
Is this orb big enough to keister? Or?
I would have to ask you some very explicit questions about your character's lifestyles in order to know if you would be practiced at bringing this in. And also to note there's no fluting end on the back of this thing, so once keistered, it might forever be keistered.
Ooh.
Look,
Yeah.
it's town guard. Just walk. We'll just go through normal customs. It'll be fine.
Can I try to disguise the orb?
Honest, I would suggest
As what?
this would be an
An
artist.
Easter egg.
Like as just
A
like
necklace.
as a big rock.
Just put a string around it and wear it as a necklace.
Like put some like grass. Like go to the forest, get some grass, and just put it around it, and it looks like a big like mossy rock. It looks like a big mossy rock.
But
sure.
How would
but
you
it's got
attach
some iron?
the grass to it, though? Because you don't just have, like, super glue in your backpack, right? You have... I'm not sure what, but how would you make the grass, like...
You
would
know
you
how
hair
like bushes
transplant?
have like the like little branches, right?
Mm-hmm,
And they're kind of like you can kind of like wrap them a little bit.
Yeah, they're
Like,
supple.
you can kind of spin them around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll
All right,
spin
all
like a
right.
bunch of branches all around the.
Okay, so the orb's gonna go from, like, here to, like, this big as you, like,
Yeah,
wrap branches
it's a little
around it.
big. It's kind of like a big ball.
We're
Okay.
kicking it around. We're kicking it around.
moss.
Yeah.
Guys,
Now, instead of having a brass orb, we now have a branchy orb.
Exactly.
Got it. Got it. All right, so you've got this
Yeah,
big
may I ask
branchy
why?
ball.
guys, we have 2 repair gnomes. Okay, we just have them. We get like, a little stick of wood, like a little wooden pole, a section, and have them like tie the orb to the wood handle, like attach it like it's a mace, using some leather thongs or something.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
it looks like it's a brass mace.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
we'll just like ask the gnomes as they're coming up. Is like, is there any way you can incorporate this piece into some sort of machinery or some gizmo or gadget where it's just going to be inconspicuous?
Or a hat.
You get the head-shaking look of disapproval from the gnomes, and with no rhyming and a flat tone, one of the gnomes says to you, I can't believe you would try and fool the guards at customs. What sort of unlawful people are you? Just be honest about things. Honesty is the best policy forward, and I'm not going to help you circumvent the law. Do the right thing. That's how
Let's
you
just go
exist in
into town.
society.
Come on, guys.
They're right. Yeah. It's
But,
we don't have anything to hide. It's just our brass orb. I mean,
I thought it was a branching orb. No? Did you branch it, or are you leaving it on...
Oh, I don't know.
It sounds like the branching path has been.
I don't see why. I don't see why we'd hide. That doesn't sound less suspicious. That's just. That's
Well,
just.
Why don't we?
I'll make.
Why would you have a rock? Why would you have a rock?
I'll make several of these and then I'll juggle them because I'm a juggler.
Guys, why don't we just have Reggie play with it like it's his toy ball?
There, that's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
And we can teach him to do a little trick with it. He can like stand on the ball and roll around on it.
He holds it in his tail. Yeah.
Well, he can
The
balance on the
gnomes
ball.
shake their heads at you in great disapproval and disappointment, and you can hear them saying, I can't believe we traveled with these people. They're monsters. Excellent. All right.
Don't pretend
you
like for a
just-
second you guys weren't planning to steal this from us.
Never.
You guys are obsessed.
I
Yes.
look on it in disappointment. I hope you're not calling me a monster.
No. Monster in the heart, not in the flesh.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
You get to the guards. They inspect your stuff. They ask you all sorts of questions. Why are you here? Where'd you come from? Why do you have so many weapons? What's with the armor?
We're from
You know.
Shenanigans. We are on an adventure.
Adventure!
God, not more of these. Yeah, you guys can't come in. Or you got to leave your weapons behind at the gate. Sorry,
here's
there's
my
too many
weapon.
people.
More than an adventure.
Yeah, here's my weapon. Have a nice day.
We've all become friends here. This is...
Outlast is
Yeah.
open-
Friendship. Yeah. Give me your weapons before you enter my
Hey, Outlast
city.
is open carry. Why are you taking our weapons?
Times of war, strangers coming in need to be proven trustworthy before you can have your weapons yet. If you are proven trustworthy, you can get a token, and that'll allow you to open carry in town. All citizens of Outlast have such a token.
I am a
Alright,
lord.
use my
I am a
sword.
lord of Berkshire, and these are my squires.
Well, we're not squires. Let's not lie about our noble rank. That can get us the death penalty, please.
You say
We're not
these
squires.
contradictory
Wait.
statements directly to the guards.
Wait,
They
I
look
thought a
very
squire-
uncomfortable.
I thought
You
a
can't just call
squire
people
was just-
a squire because that's a statement of noble rank, and
Is
you
a
get
squire a
executed
noble
for it.
rank? Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
squire.
thought a squire was more of like your.
No, they're like trainee nobles who
They're like your
like Kel William was a
entourage.
squire. Like Kel William was a squire.
Generally,
Squire
to be
knight training.
generally to be a knight, you have to be a noble. So to be a squire, you have to be a noble as well. Generally speaking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like-
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
squires are nobles who are knights in training. So
Oh, okay.
I shut that down right away. Yeah, I'm not a noble because I do not want to get executed for pretending to
Look,
be a noble.
hand over your weapons, everybody.
I already did.
Yeah, everybody else.
I don't have any weapons. Yeah.
Hand it over.
I'm like,
The guards pull you aside, Brian.
Yeah. Okay.
They walk you a little bit away from the rest of the party. One of the guards looks you up and down and says, "Have you ever considered joining the army?"
You know what? I should. That is a good idea.
We could use a good man like you.
You're right. Where do I sign up?
Let me show you to the recruitment station. Come on.
Okay.
He's already an admiral.
Yeah.
So the guard will take Admiral Jai to a recruitment station where they will, attempt to convince you to join up, and everybody else can head into town, leaving the gnomes and all your weapons behind. They do search your bags. They come across the orb, which the monkey is playing with, and they ask you what it is.
An orb made of bronze or brass.
What's it do?
I'll just say,
It's a ball.
check this out, and I'll have Reggie balance on it, and go around.
Yeah, get inside. Get
And then we'll do a
inside.
little,
No,
like,
get
Reggie
inside.
and
I don't have
will
time
go,
for your
"Ta-da."
bullshit. Move on.
You
Sorry.
guys watch the show. You didn't even give them a
Nope,
thought.
don't give a shit. Long line of people wanting to come in. They're grumpy.
Yeah, Reggie and I each have our hat out, waiting for coins. We're like,
No. They try and move you forward, and they let you know as you walk past that you need a license if you're going to be performing in the streets. You can find it. You can get such a thing from the town hall if you have the appropriate fees and whatnot. But if you're caught doing performances in the street without a license, straight to jail. And your monkey, straight to monkey jail, also known as the meat shop.
That seems more like an execution place than
Mhm.
a jail.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For animals, it's an execution place.
this place seems like a real hive of scum and villainy.
Yep, sure is. They've got a big arena over there where they just send people to their deaths.
Yep.
Be careful here.
All right.
Okay. You enter
So
Outlast.
so
Why don't we
I
take
followed-
our last
sorry.
break before we're out, and we'll see you guys on the other side with some more shenanigans. Bye-bye.